Alright, hi, I'm Linux Cool Dude. Excuse me, this is my first YouTube video, so the quality's not that great or whatever. Sorry for that. But this is a response to Alienfasts' response to Apple Soldier, which is Mac versus PC. Okay. As far as your video, there was only one thing I agreed with, and that was it. Okay, and it's a good point that you made. Okay, first thing I'm going to respond is your. Hold on. Okay, first thing I want to respond to is Mac and viruses. Okay, as far as you think it's market share, okay, market share really doesn't have anything to do with it. Okay, I'm going to tell you why. Okay, basically, Mac OS X, okay, is based on Unix. Okay, Unix has always been about security. Okay, always been about security ever since they, developed it. Okay, so basically, even if a virus got on Apple, it would not have permission to run. There's actually 3 or 4 steps you'd have to go through to give that virus permission to replicate itself and do damage, even through a file attachment in like email. You'd actually have to go in there, give the virus, make it executable, meaning it'd be able to run like a program. Then you'd have to put in your root password, so forth, and so on. Okay, Windows has always been run in administrator mode. Always. In fact, I don't know about Windows 7. So basically, once the virus gets in there, it automatically has permission to do whatever it needs to do. Okay, so that's the reason why this market share nonsense I don't believe in. Okay, another thing. Okay, first before we go on to the hardware portion, okay, I do agree with your video card on the Mac Pro. Okay, which I believe is like a GT 120, and I agree with you there. It's a very low-end video card for Mac Pro, and I think they should put a much better one in there. Okay, but besides that, that's the only point that I agree with you on. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead with your $400 Windows computer. Okay, your $400 homemade computer does not compare with a $2,500 Mac Pro. Okay, quad core. Okay, it just doesn't. Okay, I see there's more to it than just specs. Okay, let me go through the specs that you gave on your computer in your remarks. Okay, shows you have a Intel DG4 1RQ motherboard. Okay, well, it goes on to say Intel Q6700 at a bus speed, front side bus speed in megahertz, 1066 megahertz. Okay, you're trying to say that your specs is equal with a Mac Pro. No, it's not, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay, last year's Mac Pro 2008 has a front side bus speed of 1600 megahertz. 1600. Okay, your motherboard doesn't even compare with last year's Mac Pro. Okay, now let's look at your memory. Okay, your memory you have as let me see, 800 megahertz. Okay, which is I believe a DDR2. I believe it runs at 800 megahertz. Okay. Mac Pro uses DDR3, which is, I believe, 1033 or 1066, something like that. I think it's 1033 megahertz. Okay, so your the RAM speed is a little bit faster. Okay, not by much. Okay, let me go back to you comparing the motherboard speed to the 2009 Mac Pro. Okay, by the way, you made your video after the new Mac Pro came out. Okay, supposedly they changed the front side bus. Okay, Supposedly they don't have one per se. This is a little bit new to me. Okay, so they use what they call a IQP, or a point-to-point IQP. I guess it's type of bus, which is Intel Quick Path Interconnect. Okay, which runs one of three speeds: 2.4 gigahertz, 2.9, 3.2. Okay, so like I said, I don't understand the whole theory. There's probably more to it than that, which is at least double the theoretical bandwidth of a 1600 megahertz frontside bus of last year. Okay, so you're saying your $400 computer compares to this year's Mac Pro? I do not think so. No way. No how. Okay? So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with a home-built computer, and it works for you, and it's great, and I've built them before. Specs similar to yours. Okay? But like I said, you're trying to compare it to a $2,500 base Mac Pro quad-core. No. Does not compare even in the slightest. Okay? But your one point about the video card I do agree with, but that's about it. Okay? Peace out. Okay, friendly competition, right? Nothing wrong with that. So hopefully this will turn out and I'll post it on YouTube. And thank you for listening to me.